starting with Jim Boyle. Jim's family has been farming, ranching, and dairying in Arizona since 1880. He is currently the manager of an extended family dairy, heifer feedlot, and crop farming operation located in Mesa and Casa Grande. The Boyle family milks approximately 5,500 cows, feeds 7,000 young heifers, and grows 1,000 acres of alfalfa, corn, and sorghum. Excuse me.
Nope, that's fine, sorry.
I thought I heard you tell me I was saying something wrong. Jim received his bachelor's degree in anthropology from the University of Notre Dame and went on to finish his MA and PhD in medieval archaeology at New York University. After living in New York City and Dublin, Ireland, he returned to Arizona in 2005 to raise his family on the same dairy farm where he grew up in East Mesa.
As Charlotte mentioned, I'm Jim Boyle. I'm a fourth-generation dairy farmer in Arizona. My family's been here since 1880. Originally, we're miners and ranchers, and in 1920, started a dairy farm here in Glendale. Over the years, we've moved about locations as the sprawl has overtaken our farms, and we're currently located in East Mesa and Casa Grande. This is my backyard in Mesa. As Charlotte mentioned, I moved back to Arizona 5 years ago to live here on the dairy that I grew up on, which my parents built in 1978. This is the view over my back wall, a portion of our 2,500 cow dairy that's located in East Mesa, or what I used to know as Higley, growing up there. For those not familiar with dairies in the western U.S., they may differ than what we picture as Midwestern dairies, which are kind of the media image of dairy farms. Arizona dairy farms and much of the dairy farms in the Southwest are adapted to our arid environment. We bring feed to the cattle instead of intensively grazing them. This is due to our arid environment and our need to irrigate to grow forage here. Growing forage as a pasture is in Maricopa County and the Valley very, very wasteful for water. So we have a tendency to grow. We have integrated farming operations where we grow our forages for our cows. We bring them feed daily. They live in large open lot corrals. They spend all but an hour or so in their pens. And during the summer, we have fans and misters to cool them. There's approximately, this is the inside of our milking parlor. It's an older milking parlor, and we'll see a few different versions. Cows will only spend about 25 to 30 minutes a day in a milking parlor. The cow usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes to milk. We milk them twice a day. There's approximately 100 dairies in the state of Arizona. Almost all of them are within 60 miles of Phoenix. They vary in size and design, but we're all basically a very similar style of operation. For example, we have a newer dairy in Casa Grande, which was built in 2005. It's a different style barn, it's a different style operation, but it's based around some of these same basic concepts of southwestern dairy farming. Despite all of the innovations that we've developed over the years, for example, this is our milking parlor down there. It's a 60 cow rotary where the cows ride around in a circle and then walk themselves off while they're being milked. The basic concept of dairy farming here would be no different to my great-grandfather who started his dairy in Glendale in 1924. We have much more complex cooling systems for the cows to keep them more comfortable during the summer. We have oscillating fans that are temperature controlled to adjust to humidity and temperature to run and cool the cows off during the summer. During the winter, the weather is quite nice and they don't really need that. Because dairy farmers have to ship milk on a daily basis, we have a product that we milk our cows every day. Our product spoils relatively quickly, so we have to move it on. Dairies are often located on the fringes of cities. This happens everywhere, and Phoenix is no different. If you can see, my dairy, where I live in East Mesa, I think there is a pointer in here, is located right here. There's 9 dairy farms in my neighborhood. We have a number of crop farms still surrounding us. We have a lot more out in this general direction. And we have neighbors that are very, very close. This is a classic classic southwestern dairy model where the houses get closer and closer to us until we no longer have any place to gather our crops for the cows. We have a tendency to skip a little farther out of town. Because we have to, because we have to handle our fluid milk that's produced every day, 365 days a year, dairy farmers have generally banded together into farmer-owned cooperatives to ensure that we have a place to take our milk. Dairy sites in Arizona are no different. About 90% of the dairy farms in Arizona belong to the United Dairymen of Arizona, which is our co-op based in Tempe. This is the plant and the headquarters. While we, as dairy farmers, focus on producing the milk, the United Dairymen of Arizona's role is selling the milk to the various bottlers and manufacturers located here in the valley. We also have our own plant where we produce a line of milk powder products right here in Tempe, or not here in Tempe. If I was at the ASU in Tempe, I would say that, but in Tempe. The UDA and individual dairymen work diligently to ensure that we produce a safe, high-quality milk. We, within minutes of milk coming from the cow, we super chill it to 35 degrees, where it'll be maintained for that temperature throughout its entire processing time. Every load of milk is tested for the presence of antibiotics prior to leaving the farm. If it tests positive, it's immediately dumped down the drain. It won't even be pumped into a tanker truck to leave the dairy. And in our co-op at the United Dairymen of Arizona, we do not use any RBST related hormones in our herds that produce fluid milk for sale in Arizona. All of your fluid milk in Arizona, regardless if it's store brand or organic, is free of it comes from cows that are free of any added hormones. Our milk is taken off our dairies and usually shipped direct to the bottling plants and the manufacturers for the product that it gets turned into. We produce, besides essentially 90% of the milk on grocery store shelves in Arizona, we produce cheese here in the state. We produce cottage cheese and sour cream. We produce butter and essentially almost every dairy product you can think of. That's taken directly every day from dairies located in Phoenix to the manufacturers. For fluid milk products, milk will take less than 48 hours from the cow to the grocery store shelf. We're lucky because of our bottling plants right here in Phoenix. We sell our milk under all the major labels you see in the grocery stores, and you're almost guaranteed a very, very, very fresh product in Phoenix. Dairy is a multi-generational affair. We're dominated in Arizona by dairy farming families, many of whom have been milking cows in Arizona since statehood. We'll continue to do so in order for Arizonans to have a reliable, safe source of local dairy products for as long as we can. I'd like to leave the rest of my time after everyone else speaks, for questions, and urge anyone to look up www.dairyfarmingtoday.com for a overview of the dairy industry in the United States. There's a illustrative section on Arizona.